Hello, this is Greg Allison with Green Greg's Garden and Worm Farm coming to you on the 18th of March 2020 with the second edition, Volume 1 of Quarantine Living. I'm bringing you this new series, Quarantine Living, with a proposition that it looks like we have a new way that we're going to have to live for some period of time. I have the proposition that this situation that we're under now may last longer than you think. There's some evidence that there's other things. It's a way of living right now. We have to deal with it here and now, and it may go longer. Whatever the case is, what you need to know and understand is how to live and how to make a living. And that is what I'm bringing to you with this new series. And it supports the overall theme of the Green Greg's channel to help my subscribers know how to survive, thrive, and stay out of the hive. All that said, I'm going to be talking to you today about a concept for making a living that would suit quite a few of you. If it's not for you, then it may help someone you know. You can share this video. What I'm going to talk about today essentially is starting a courier service. Now, overall, when you're in a situation where we're under a quarantine, whether it be self-imposed, self-quarantine, or externally imposed quarantine, virtual quarantine, whatever, the way we live changes. Lots of changes are made. A lot of the services that are typically available aren't available. In a lot of places, restaurants are closing. A lot of places, various stores are closing. Some places, people just can't even get out of their homes. This is varying in locale to locale, and right now it seems to be tightening down. In some areas, it may loosen up some, but maybe not wide open because they don't want certain things to get about, if you know what I mean. Once you loosen things and let people travel about, the situation that you clamped down for in the first place reemerges. All that said, this is a lifestyle that we've got to face for some little period of time. So here's the advice to help you live with it. Key and essential to this is you think about what kind of things do you need that you can't get? What kind of services are people missing? What can you do? What can you bring to the table to help other people? What do you need? And how can you translate that into something, providing a service that someone else can need? If there's a need, figure out how to fill it. That's how the system works. That's how you can learn how to survive and thrive in the worst of these situations. So, you've got bills to pay. They're not going to go away. Your house payment, your mortgage payment is still expected. Your rent is still expected. Your utility bills is still got to be maintained. If you don't pay your utility bills, you go dark. Yeah, you may have other assistance. You may have work at home opportunities, but still, they may not suffice to cover what you need. And some people don't have these opportunities. It looks like the government is more interested in helping the banks, as usual, than helping the people. So we have to help ourselves. And maybe we want to instigate against that a little bit too. That's a whole different matter. All that said, I'm here to help you realize what you have to do. And we're going to take various aspects of this. We're going to talk about how to make a living and how to live too within this series. So we'll be talking about things that you need to do at home, how to take care of yourself, how to have food prep, and all these other things. But today we're going to be talking about a courier service, because a courier service is one of those things that's going to be needed more than before. For example, if you think about farmers market shutting down, you got a lot of farmers that are growing stuff. They have no way to get it to people, perhaps. If you could be the courier, and then maybe they don't have time to run around and run everything around because they're still growing or doing whatever it is they do. Or somebody that's producing a product. Like maybe somebody might be enterprising and set up a 3D printer to provide pieces and parts that people can't get through the normal supply chain right now. But they may not be set up to deliver these parts. This is something, and that's another income opportunity that you might think about. And growing food and being the 3D part manufacturer, additive manufacturer. Those are two of the things we can cover in the future on this channel. But right now, I'm covering courier service. Why? Because you may already have most of what it takes to become a courier. A lot of these things I'll talk about might require you do more stuff and have more things. You might be the individual who can be a courier quite easily. And for some courier services, just having a bicycle might suffice if you specialize in moving small items. a backpack. Maybe you can throw groceries in a backpack or something to be delivered in a backpack, or have a bicycle trailer and move around small items, be they groceries, small items of produce or whatever. And you're probably not going to make a ginormous fee doing this, but you can make some money. Hopefully you can make enough to pay your rent payment or whatever, at least to help you out in that regard. Anything helps when you're in a dire situation. Anything helps when money is disappearing. People aren't going to be buying luxuries and a lot of fun things they would have been buying otherwise. They're going to focus first and foremost on the essentials. If you can provide those essentials or deliver those essentials, you're ahead. So, okay, what do we do with this courier service? Okay, I'm going to get into that. How does it operate? What do you do? First, be sure, if you've not subscribed to my channel, subscribe. Bang the update notification bell and click all. Especially if you really trust what I'm saying and you value the information I'm giving you, do subscribe. Also, check my links below. I have many other things that, hey, right now, you need food. You need long-term food storage. PrepWithGreg.com. PrepWithGreg.com. Link below. Yeah, some of the items that they deliver are now delayed, maybe 10 weeks, but you can get great deals. You can get $100 off for a 4 weeks food supply, $70 off practically for 2 weeks. So those are awesome deals. There's many other things you can get through there. All your prep supplies are available. Like I said, some things are now backing up and back ordering. They're going back order even more. You better get them while they're getting as good. Go ahead and get these things in order now. And who knows, at some point in the future, there may not even be postal services and things like that. Things could really degrade. I don't expect it to happen in the next few months. So use your time wisely. Whatever you can order. It's going to be harder to go out to stores. Grocery stores themselves may be shutting down, or you may have curfews and travel restrictions that may prevent you from leaving your home. That's the way it is in parts of Italy. That's the way it is in parts of China. And that may come to other locations such as here. It may happen state by state, may become nationwide. We just don't know how this is going to play out, but they are trying to limit person-to-person transmittal of certain things, right? We know what we're talking about. All right, all that said, so let's get back. Oh yeah, also you're going to need seed. You're going to need plants. Check with Tree Leaf Market, link below, and I'm going to cover that as an income opportunity also, and something you're going to have just to live is good, fresh, highly nutritious food. What can you grow? And we'll cover that probably in several videos. All right, so let's get on to the courier service now. Courier service. Like I said, you need a vehicle. So we're going to talk about 7 things you need. 7 things you need to do a courier service. 7. First, you need a vehicle. It might be a bicycle. Hey, maybe a backpacking or 2 feet might work if you're in a big city and things are close by. You may have to get a special permit to be a courier in an era of lockdown, but even in China and Wuhan, they have couriers. Couriers are what make deliveries. See, grocery stores and restaurants are shutting down. Even in the United States, restaurants are shutting down. They're allowing people to come get stuff. It may get to the point that they would prefer someone deliver stuff for them, and they probably don't have the trucks and times to run everything everywhere because they're just trying to cook. Now, maybe they can convert some of their wait staff into doing that, but that's going to be complicated. If you're already specializing in providing deliveries, you've got an opportunity. There already was a demand for couriers. That's an existent thing that anyone can get into, even in good times. But now, with the transportation being disrupted, with storefront operations being disrupted, there may be stores, just brick and mortar stores, that have to close. They would love it if they could get their product delivered to customers. Think about that. And again, as I mentioned, people may be standing up doing 3D manufacturing. There may be farmers. So let's get back into this vehicle talk again. Vehicles are one of the key things you need to look at, because if you've got a truck or a van, you're set. You're really set. I'm going to share a couple websites with you for courier services that you can go to. And on the vehicle side of that, one of them does have requirements that your vehicle be like, what is it? It's called, they're called GoShare. they require your vehicle be within 15 years old, no older than 15 years old. Now that knocks me out. I couldn't go to Go Share with the vehicles I've got because, oh, mine are antique. I've got 2 vans and a truck. Yeah, I could do delivery services, but not through Go Share with the vehicles I'm running at this moment. Now, that said, if you need a vehicle, if you need a van or a truck, if you go to Craigslist, you can even find them on Facebook, in the online yard sales, things like on Facebook. But in Craigslist, there is an area for cars and trucks if you go into Craigslist and shop for them. And you can even search on vans. And you can find a lot of deals. Now, of course, the newer ones are very expensive. But if you start hunting anything between 10 to 15 years old, which would still fit within the criteria of GoShare, then you should be good. You will meet your criteria. You can also, I'll come back to it in a minute. So that's what you need to do is you need to look for if you don't already have a van or a truck, and a lot of you do, you can look for that. Now, there's some smaller stuff you could deliver in the trunk of a car or in a hatchback, as most cars have these days. So there will be a need for a lot of smaller scale deliveries. So this is something you could do. So the other thing to consider is what kind of equipment. The second item is what kind of equipment do you need? You're going to need hand trucks to haul things around, dollies, hand trucks. You might even use bigger refrigerator style ones so you can move heavy stuff. You might need one of those floor type dollies that's just got 4 caster wheels on a platform, maybe 4x4 foot. You can get all these things at Lowe's or Harbor Freight, usually for about $20 for a hand truck. You can make your own little dolly. The casters are cheap. Just screw together a framework of some boards. Bam, you're in business. Put a little moving carpet on it. What else you're going to need? Moving carpet, moving blankets, straps, ratchet straps to move and hold and contain things if you're using a truck. Of course, if you're moving everything around on your bicycle and you got a backpack, you don't need all that. It depends on what scale business you're trying to get into, what scale of cargo you're trying to move. And that they come into us, smaller stuff will be in more demand. There have been couriers that do nothing but deliver letters. I've actually used a courier service. I may have actually taken something to somebody as a courier in the past myself. And when somebody needed something expedited, I just happened to know where it needed to go. So they called me to use it. So, yeah, there is a demand for couriers. It exists, and it's growing, and it should explode right now, given the situation we're under. There should be ample opportunity. Okay, so the third thing you need to consider is, what do you name your business? Yeah, you should name it. Give it a name. Make it a regular business. I mean, that's what you're in, is business to do business. So name it something that fits yourself and what you're trying to do, what you're trying to deliver. If you're on a bicycle, you might say Couriers on a Bike, or you might say something to invoke small, like Pigeon Courier, like Common Pigeon or whatever these guys are that bring the small messages around about. So you might pick something. Courier Carriers. I like alliteration, So be creative, come up with a name, but you got to check with your Secretary of State in your state, or the appropriate official within your state. Go to your county courthouse if you can, or go online to see if the names of the business you want is available, so you can get a business license. Now, if all these offices are shut down, you can cross your fingers and hope for the best. Go to a website service provider, somebody that offers online services like GoDaddy.com. There's several entities out there that offer similar services where you can buy domain names. So what you want to do is buy a domain name. You want to find a domain name that fits your business. If it's taken, you don't want to name your business that. So it's really 2 different areas you need to check. You need to check with your local state, and you need to check with your whatever online services you want to use for procuring domains. You just want to make sure that domain name is not taken, because a website is a key way to be able to do business. And you can set up easy websites now with GoDaddy, unlike the one I use on my Green Greg's worm farm, which is pretty clunky. But anyway, so yeah, the websites you maintain on regular business cost a little more money because you got monthly fees with them, as opposed to mine. I pay once a year, and not much. And Shopify will charge you like $30 a month for the low end website. So these things aren't cheap. That is, if you use a website like that. But you can do a Facebook page, for Pete's sakes, promote your business that way. Use your friends list. So, yeah, that's key to naming your business. So, the fourth thing you're going to need is to insure your business. What do you got to insure? You need to insure your vehicle. You need to insure the cargo that you carry, and you need to be able to insure liability for whatever you're doing. So the best way to do it is just check with your local insurance broker, whoever you use normally. Check with them. Hey, I want to start a business, and I need to be able to cover whatever vehicle I use, which may be a bicycle, so maybe you don't really need to insure it. The cargo you're carrying, in case something happens, and you're carrying somebody's television or laptop in your backpack, and you go to the handlebars of your bike and your backpack flies into a telephone pole. Ow! Yeah, you might be liable to replace it. Make sure you can do that. Liability, in case you run somebody over. So yeah, make sure that you got these things covered. Or somebody says you came to the front porch and you put a hole in it and they fell through it. I don't know. Just make sure you got liability. Your insurance broker will be the expert for covering that. So, marketing is a fifth item to consider is marketing. How do you do appropriate marketing for your service? So friends and family is the first way to always start out. The second way to start out is social media, of course, every form of social media you can use. Particularly, it's easy to get in Facebook and set up Facebook groups and pages. There's already existence group and pages for a lot of stuff that you can search for and join. You can, through those and post to those, invite friends from those to kind of expand your social network. There's also just cold calling. Find businesses that you think might need a courier service and call them up. Say, hey, I am Joe Blow. I got Joe Blow's Courier Service, and I would like to be able to carry your packages and deliver them to customers. Or I realize your store can't be open now. Or I realize people can't come in your store because we're under quarantine. Can I deliver for you? And through doing that, hopefully you can make a lot of contacts and get a lot of business. Call farmers. Call your farmers markets or look for them online and find out who are the farmers that sell there. Say, hey, could I deliver to your customers? And maybe you would even help them market. I got such and such, I can bring to you, blah, 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 and use your social networks for that. If you know people are doing additive manufacturing, or do your own additive manufacturing, grow your own food. I'll cover those in separate videos to come. So marketing is key, but here's what's cool. There are at least 3 or 4 websites out there of organizations that allow you to contact and to log into them and bid on loads that other people are wanting to get shipped. And when you go on those websites, what you're going to find is a lot of them are small loads. If you have just a small capacity, you can bid specifically on those smaller loads, especially if they're within a small geographical delivery. Those websites have things from delivering a dog or a pet cage to, a truck or a train in one case. I thought about bidding to move a train once upon a time because I thought, wow, that's a short delivery. I could handle that with my 1-ton truck. So unfortunately, somebody beat me to that one, but that looked pretty lucrative at one point. They were wanting to offer a fair bit of money to move that train. Yeah, it was a steam engine train, the engine part. Yeah, I probably could have done that, believe it or not. So there are a number of things, different payloads. I will put 2 links underneath this video for courier service freight demands. Now, one of them seems to be more aligned for trucks, big trucks, semi trucks. But when you get in and look at the freight list that people are bidding on, some of them are small. So you might have an opportunity with that one. There's some reality show you see on TV that did this. I can't remember the name of it. I tried to look them up. I was hoping to find that link to put on. Maybe some of you know who that is. You do a little internet search. You'll find more of these businesses out there. You'll find more of these freight haul outfits that you could possibly bid to. So, yeah. Okay, one of them is, let's see. Yeah. So what I'd tell you is the 6th thing is to actually join those outfits. Yeah, so one of them, hang on, I can't share right now because I'm using a different video. But go to GoShare, join them. Go to UShip, join them. Like I said, the links are below. Also, be sure that when you're in this business, the seventh item I wanted to tell you, save your receipts. You'll need them for tax purposes or maybe even proof of delivery. Make sure you get people to sign just anything when you deliver to them so that you can show, even if you're making up your own signature receipts. Maybe you got a printer and you can do some of that kind of stuff with your printer. But if you have to hand write it, for Pete's sake, just take up your notepad and hand write stuff if you need to. But keep up with what you deliver. Get receipts for your expenses. And oh yeah, we got to add to that. It might come down to pass that with transportation lockdowns and things like that, you might have to apply through your local officials for a right to be a courier to be on the road when people are not supposed to be on the road. And if they disallow that, then maybe you're out of business. But somebody, even in China, under the strictest curfews, they had couriers. And in those cases, the couriers will deliver stuff to like an apartment, and the people just have to go get what they got. There was no signing for it. The honor system was very much in effect. That may work better in some places than others. However, that's what they did in China. So the final thing to know about all this is the protocols for safety and health. If you're out in the public, minimize contact as much as possible. Stay away from other people as much as possible. You may have to go buy gasoline. If you go buy gasoline, use tissue papers to punch all the keys on the gas pumps on your ATM machine. I take 91% isopropyl alcohol and paper towels, and I kind of wipe everything down before I touch it. And then I still use tissue paper and pick up the handle of the gas pump with tissue paper. Wipe it down first. Anything you think you might touch. And wash your hands when you're done touching all this stuff. Do not touch your face when you're out and about. You might want to wear safety gear while you're out and about. Personal protective equipment. Something to keep as you're moving around to keep the airflow from coming to your eyes that might have viral particles in it from where someone sneezed. You might want to wear a face mask. Seriously. In some places, it's going to be required you to wear a face mask to be out and about. And if you're going to wear a face mask, you'll need to trim your beard if you have one, which I may have to do. And let's see, if I hate to do that, but if I did, well, another thing you might do is even with a face mask, it's at least going to keep them touching the mouth. And even if you have a beard, you might put a little thieves oil in your beard. It might possibly help things from coming in. Still, most of the air is going to come through the membrane, even though some might be leaking. Big particles, you're going to be sucking hard, and big particles come up through you. Your beard is something of a filter, but wash it all out every day. But the advice is to shave so you get a good seal, and use a high quality face mask, N95 or above preferably. Actually, I hear some doctors are putting coffee filters under their face mask. So another safety item protocol to bear in mind is if you were out interfacing with people, the person is handing you money. Maybe you'll have a bucket to take the money into. Just put it on a stick and let them put the money into the bucket, and just leave whatever you leave. And don't shake their hands. Don't even do the old-fashioned, knuckle bump. I would stay away from any contact. Stay away from it as far as you can. If you notice in China, they have long sticks that they're handing stuff to people with and taking money with in little buckets, little coffee bucket. Even a drink cup might do, solo cup. But holes it, put it in a little stick or something. Something to minimize your contact. And then launder your money. I did a video. It looked kind of corny and cheesy, but you really need to wash your money with something that's going to purify and sanitize it. I was showing how to use 91% isopropyl alcohol. I made a milk jug. Washing machine for money laundering. So that could be critical for what you've got to do. You want clean money. You don't want somebody that's going to, these dollar bills go all over the place. Tons of people handle them. And even if someone infected don't handle your dollar bill, it might have been adjacent to a dollar bill that somebody else handled that had something that could transfer. For those reasons, you really want to launder the money. Clean it. The technique I showed is not the only one. You could throw it in a sock and throw it in your washing machine. You could do several things. Like I said, you could have a money bucket for people, and it could be a milk jug made just like I showed the other day. Or check out edition 1 of this series for that video on money laundering. That said, the other thing is you could also carry a plastic pouch. It might be easier to carry and just have people money in it. But how do you hold the plastic pouch open? You getting a little bit closer to the person. Yeah, a milk jug might be the best way. You can strap the milk jug to your backpack, and maybe you've got a pouch in your backpack or somewhere that you could pour the contents of the milk jug into. You might shake the milk jug around, and hopefully you can count money that way. Or wear gloves. Wear those little blue gloves. So there you go. You could be a courier or many other things. If you don't want to be a courier, share this with other people. Maybe being a courier would be one of several income streams you might set up, because you might find jobs sometimes, but not all times. So we'll cover other ideas too. It certainly doesn't hurt to be able to offer courier services, to be able to bid on a few payloads or cargo loads, freight loads, whatever, to be moved. If you've got a van, if you've got a big truck, especially a covered truck, you can move more stuff. I've got a 1-ton truck. I've got a large trailer. I've got 3 trailers, 2 good size. I've got 2 vans. I can move stuff. I can do this if I so choose. But I couldn't go to the one service, as I mentioned. The guys with Go Share, they require your vehicles be 15 years or younger, and if you have to have a vehicle that young, hey, I'm out of the game on that, unless I go get another vehicle, which could be worthwhile if I decide to chase that. But I'm busy enough. I don't need to go into any of that stuff. If I didn't have anything else to do, I could do that. But I'm busy enough. I have worms. I've got a garden. I've got my stuff covered. I might have to deliver some of my own stuff down the road. That's a whole different matter. Or if they're really strapping down to who can be a courier, then maybe I'll be looking for you if you're in my neighborhood. I might be looking for courier services myself. So there you go. Being a courier is definitely a prospect for quarantine living. It may be a fair way to make some money to get you through these tough times. So if you're not wanting to be a courier, some of your friends might. And they might really appreciate the tip. So share this video, share the idea. You helping them makes them encouraged to help you. We're all in this together. We have to work together to figure out how to get through this stuff. And I do encourage the formation of communities. That's part of quarantine living. We need communities because we're social animals. Even though we've got to create a system of social distancing, we also need to be somewhat close to some people. Now, so we'll be covering more of that, how we form tribes and communities and have cells in which we can be closer and with human interactions and have social activities, but be able to control it in such a way that we minimize our risk and exposure to other things in society. So there you go, my friends. I hope you enjoy this video. Please remember to share this video with people that you think that this might benefit. And as I said, if you trust what I say, if you believe in what I'm telling you, subscribe to my channel. Bang the update notification bell and click all, where it gives you the 3 options, so you'll get all the notifications that I put out on this channel. I cover many topics on this channel to try to help you know how to survive, thrive, and stay out of the hive. And in quarantine living, we're here to help you live and make a living in the worst of times. So thank you for watching.